Hello, everybody. Welcome to West Virginia's incoming exchange orientation. We hope that you all have arrived safely and just wanted to greet you and welcome you to West Virginia. My name is Laura Childs. I'm one of the Education Abroad coordinators here at West Virginia. And with me is my colleague Ty.
Yeah, Ty Badana. Laura and I do the same exact job in the office, education abroad coordinators. So as you know, you've worked with us incoming. We also work to send our WVU students to you as well. So incoming and outgoing. As Laura mentioned, yeah, we just wanted to make sure that you didn't miss anything from the exchange orientation. And one of the very first reminders that we have for you is regarding class changes. So you actually have up until Friday the 17th is the end of the add drop period. So you can make changes to your schedule if you feel like you need to. However, some really important reminders. First, all undergraduate students, including you, have to be registered for 12 WVU credit hours at a minimum. This is our full-time threshold. So if you drop below 12, you're in violation of your visa status. Um, if you do want to make a class change, add your class on your schedule successfully before you drop anything. So it's better to have more credits than you need for a short period of time than dropping below the minimum that you need. A good reminder about online classes. Your visa says that you need to take 12 credit hours minimally. 9 of those have to be in person. So you do have the allowance to take one online class. If you're interested in this, Freddie can help you register for the classes. And also, Freddie would be the one that would help you make any schedule changes at this point. So keep us in the loop, but Freddie will be your main contact for scheduling. If you are making any class changes, do keep in mind that while we're happy to have you in all of our classes, you should be following the direction given to you from your home university. So you want to make sure that you're staying on track for your degree plan with the class changes. And I don't have your full degree plan, so make sure you follow your guidance from your home university. A little bit about what you'll be expected to take care of as a student, your course expectations. Today, Monday, is the very first day of classes. So, in your first day of classes, you're usually given a syllabus that are posted online, and we'll talk about that. The syllabus is really the contract between you and the instructor. And by saying in the class, you're agreeing to the syllabus. So, some instructors will be very good about sending you friendly reminders on when deadlines are upcoming. Some instructors don't. Some instructors expect you to be more independent. The syllabus will have everything spelled out for you. It'll tell you exactly what components make up your final grade. It'll tell you your deadlines for your class projects. So even if the professor doesn't remind you about a due date that's upcoming, you're still expected to turn things in and make that deadline. In the majority of our classes, I'm going to say all of our classes, class attendance is required. Each professor is going to have in their syllabus a threshold. So, how many classes can you miss before it starts affecting your grade? Obviously, if you don't go to class, you can't be successful in the class. So, make sure you're following those guidelines set forth in the syllabus by your professor. And like I mentioned, you're responsible for all assignments, all projects, all exams, even if your professor doesn't talk about them in class. If they're in the syllabus, you are responsible for them. The biggest piece of advice that I'll give you is to take advantage of your professor's office hours. So the office hours will also be posted on the syllabus. This is dedicated time where your professors and your instructors are in their office and they're available for you to come in and ask questions. You can come and talk to your professors about maybe questions you've had on homework. Maybe you've wanted some clarification on some of the instructions you were given. Maybe you just want to make sure that you're understanding everything in English how you should be, right? So professors love it when you come to their office hours. It's really nice. Students don't take advantage of this as much as they should, and I mean they're available for you, so why not, right? So do take advantage of your professor's office hours. Thinking about eCampus, eCampus is our online kind of home for all of your courses, right? ecampus.wvu.edu. You'll go there, log in with your WVU credentials, and automatically you'll see all of the courses that you are registered for this semester. You can click on each course and that'll take you into the details of that course. So in the screenshot here, for example, it's just an example. It's a French 102 class. You can see that posted there. They have the rubric for the project, the syllabus, extra credit opportunities. eCampus, your professors will mostly post a lot of your readings there. So especially if you have additional readings outside of your textbook, like you can see in here in this screenshot, the syllabus will be housed on your eCampus page, but also all of your homework, the majority of your homework, each professor's different, right, will be turned in actually on your eCampus page. So I teach a French class. All homework gets turned in on eCampus. It's the easiest way for professors to grade your work. So that's the main use for it. There are also some, you can email your professor from eCampus, but I always recommend getting their email directly from the syllabus and just, having a more direct line of communication with your professor. Some good reminders about textbooks. If you opted out of the BN First Day Complete program, then you are in charge of finding your own textbook materials or your own classroom materials, rather. Some great places I recommend to start out with because they're free is the WVU libraries that we have. Of course, there's one here pictured on the downtown campus and the Evansdale campus. If you're studying something like engineering, you're more likely to be spending time in Evansdale. However, as a WVU student, you have free access to both of them. You can get books there. You can rent study rooms at both libraries. It doesn't make a difference. It's whatever your preference is. My big pro tip that I'll pass along to you is that we have a really excellent team of librarians at WVU. We have a program called Ask a Librarian where you can schedule an appointment with a research assistant, a research librarian, and they can actually help you get started on your research. So as somebody coming into the US, into a different educational system, maybe the online resources we have available are super unfamiliar to you when it comes to research. So this would be a good time to schedule an appointment just to get the pro tips. Even as I did my undergrad at WVU and I scheduled appointments with librarians and I learned things that I didn't even know existed. So really excellent free resource. I'll also underline, I know I mentioned it, that you can rent study rooms. So if you're in a challenging class and you want to study with friends, maybe you have a roommate that's a little bit noisy and you want some quiet time, rent a library room and go study. Definitely recommend. If you chose to stay in the Barnes & Noble First Day Complete program, then you're going to be contacted by email with a date of when you can start picking up your books.
So something to know about life on campus is that your student ID is kind of your key to everything. So you've already submitted your photo, and hopefully if you have checked into the dorm, it was waiting for you upon arrival. If you are living off campus, your student ID is available for pickup at the ITS office, which is in the Mountain Layer, the big student union building. It is just to the left of the main information desk. So if you don't see it, ask the information desk where I can pick up my ID card. They'll point you right around the corner. And this student ID card becomes your proof that you're a student here. So if you're ever traveling and there's a discount for students, you can use it as your identification. It is also your key for dorms, buildings, library, different floors, anything that's upgraded to have a swipe, that would be your key. The ID card is also used for meal plans. If you've chosen to get a meal plan, you swipe for meals. And then it can also be used almost as a debit card where you can put money on your account and then not have to carry cash around. You can swipe for different vending type of food purchases and smaller things like printing around campus, your laundry, instead of using cash. Another huge benefit is the PRT, which is the Personal Rapid Transit. It's our little train system between the downtown campus and the Evansdale campus. using your student ID is how you swipe in to go for a ride. And then last but not least, anytime there's an event on campus, a sporting event, we'll get to Up All Night a little bit later, but any campus happening where they were taking attendance, it's swiping your ID card. Something to really be aware of as we enter bad weather, and not just weather, but kind of anything on a new campus, is please, please, please go to this website and sign up for alerts at alert.wvu.edu. You will enter your email address and a cell phone number, and you will automatically be notified if the campus has anything to tell you, if classes are delayed, or if there is a gas leak in a building. And anything that the university needs you to know will be sent out through these alerts. So please sign up to receive them. At the very bottom of this slide, also enews.wvu.edu is a great source for updates and just a list of kind of what's happening on campus. They list news, they list all the updates will be followed there as well, and then also have links to calendars and that kind of thing to let you know what's going on. Very important to take note of the semester calendar. As Ty mentioned earlier, you have until the 17th to drop or add and make changes to your schedule. Then know next Monday, the university is closed for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and then midterm exams. Really important to start kind of have on the back of your head that March 15th through 23rd is our spring break. For that week, the university dorms will be closed. There will be some communication going out a little bit later on as to options that you have for where you can go that week if you're not traveling. But no, there's no classes. Start thinking of where you want to go. If you want to do a good trip, that's a great time. If you want to have people visit you, just know that that week is available. And then the rest of the calendar through exams, so you kind of know what to expect. As I mentioned in the last slide, next Monday is a day off. We usually encourage people to volunteer on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. There's a link to iserve.wvu.edu, which lists volunteer opportunities you have all semester long if you'd like to get involved that way. And then also note that that will happen to be the inauguration for the president in Washington, D.C. You all are aware that American politics can get charged. So we just wanted to make a note, make safe, smart choices, avoid like large gatherings or political protests, and just be aware that that's the day that that's going on.
So when you come to campus, you'll probably notice, or you might already know, that the drinking age in the US is probably slightly higher than your home. The drinking age here is 21, of course, so some good reminders about alcohol on and off campus. One thing is if you're living in the dormitories, alcohol is never allowed in there. If you get caught with alcohol in any of the dorms, I'll even say any of the WVU buildings, really, you're going to have to deal with WVU Student Code of Conduct because it does violate our conduct policy. So if you do consume alcohol, do it outside of your dorms. It's also good to know that West Virginia has open container laws, which just means that you're not legally allowed to walk around town with an open cup or an open beer bottle. So, if you have an open beer bottle and you're at a bar or something and drinking, you're going to want to finish it, but you can't really take it with you opened. If a cop does see you with even just a cup that's open like that, they will probably talk to you and inquire about the contents of that cup. And like I said, anytime there is a issue on campus, including alcohol, and it violates WVU Student Code of Conduct, you, like other students here at WVU, will have to meet with WVU Student Code of Conduct. We can help you in the sense that we can help explain the policies, we can help explain what comes next, but really it's your responsibility to make sure you're following the student code of conduct. Something really, really important that we want to underline for you is medical amnesty, right? So if you are underage and you're partaking in drinking and you're with some friends that are also underage and drinking, if somebody needs help, regardless of what kind of help it is, thinking medical help, though, they're in a crisis, maybe they've drank too much, you are to seek help for them first and foremost. We have medical amnesty, which means that even if you're violating WVU student code of conduct, if you call 911, if you call an emergency line to get help for somebody who needs help, you're not going to get in trouble for underage drinking. We would rather make sure that everyone is being safe. And if someone's in a crisis, they have the help needed to leave the crisis. So don't be worried about getting yourself in trouble. Call first. Medical amnesty means that you will not have any repercussions, even if you were drinking underage too, as an example. And a good reminder also through the semester, in the beginning of the semester, you're going to get emails from West Virginia University about alcohol EDU. We do expect that you complete the alcohol EDU modules. They're not going to take a lot of time. They're not super intensive, but it is very informative. And you're in a new country, so you should know about the setting before you partake. Other things to keep a lookout for. In America, we have a lot of alcohol that is mixed with caffeine, right? So if you don't know that you're drinking alcohol that has caffeine in it and you're really indulging and you're drinking a lot, that's going to affect you a lot differently opposed to a drink that doesn't have caffeine in it. So definitely be aware of what you're consuming and what you're drinking and whether or not it has caffeine. We don't want to see any bad surprises like that, right? On the other side, another good note of caution is natural and synthetic marijuana gummies. Now in some places in the United States, it is legal to purchase this. West Virginia is not one of them. There are some knockoffs that are called like Delta 8 and Delta 9. Regardless, they're unregulated and not safe for you to consume. So really, we just want you to be sure if you do encounter some kind of Delta 9, Delta 8 marijuana or THC gummy, you do want to avoid that, definitely. And medical amnesty also would apply in this case too, right? Anytime somebody needs help and you've broken a rule, medical amnesty means that you're not going to be in trouble. We just want the help. Some good pro tips for getting a SIM card, right? If your phone is unlocked and you can use different kinds of SIMs in it, maybe you can consider Cricket Wireless. Cricket is what I personally use. I used to be on a $55 unlimited plan. I didn't use enough of it, so now I only pay $30. The big thing that we want to point out about SIM cards in the United States is that several of them are tied to a 2-year contract. A lot of phone companies will want you to sign a 2-year contract to get the phone, which means that your phone's locked, which also means that you can't use other SIM cards in the phone. So we really want you to pay attention and go for a prepaid plan. That means you can cancel at any time. You're not under any contract. There are no repercussions. So when you leave the country, you can just cancel your plan and it's good to go. I recommend Cricket because it's cheap. It's what I use. So check it out. I'm going to bring up a few different plans that you can compare and contrast, but I think this is probably the best financial deal that you're going to find for a short period here. I have linked, it's in the Suncrest Town Center, which is a kind of a plaza, shopping plaza that we have, and you can take the purple line to get there, which is free with your WVU student ID. I did want to mention 2 other options. There's US Cellular and Verizon. These are just kind of popular options in the United States, especially Verizon. US Cellular is the official cell phone company for WVU. So if you show your student ID, you can get a discount there. I'm not too knowledgeable about their prepaid plans versus their contracts, so that's just something you would really want to compare online before making a decision. Both of these places are accessible to you through the Mountain Line bus system. So US Cellular is the gold line and Verizon's the purple line, just like Cricket is, which is, of course, free with your WVU student ID. And then finally, another thing to think about besides your cell phone is banking. If you are interested in opening a bank account here in the US, you don't have to, but if you're interested in it, we highly recommend PNC. PNC because they have a lot of student accounts. I personally used it when I was a student at WVU and I still use it. So there are no account minimums, so you don't have to keep a certain amount in your checking account each month, which is really good. It's easy access throughout all Morgantown. The bank is based out of Pittsburgh, which is pretty close. So all throughout the town, you're going to be able to access ATMs, but also kind of the highlight of using PNC is that they have a branch in the Mountain Layer, which is our student union. If you're a downtown student or you live in Stoniker or Dadisman, you're going to be passing the Mountain Layer all the time. So very convenient, very accessible. And then also, as a J1 student, you are allowed to work here, but you do have some limitations. So the two things to keep in mind, it has to be part-time, which is considered 20 hours a week here, and it has to be an on-campus position. Okay. You are free to work as long as it's part-time and it's on campus. And the best way to find on-campus jobs is by WVU Handshake. I have the link here, joinhandshake.com/login. You'll log in with your WVU credentials, and then I've taken a screenshot here of what it looks like once you log in. You can filter for on-campus part-time jobs, and that's going to show you all of your options that you have. Some of them might be more specialized, so you need a certain set of skills to be hired at that job. Other jobs are going to be general student worker jobs where they're very flexible with your school schedule, and happy to work around your classes. So I've seen some really good jobs advertised that are just working at the libraries on campus, for example. That's very general. So that's what I would recommend. And Handshake is your go-to place.
We really want to stress that exchange students, while you are at West Virginia, you are a West Virginia student just like every other student. So any event that is available for West Virginia students, you are more than welcome to go to. And in fact, we highly encourage it. So as a way for you to get engaged and really meet local students, kind of laid out the slide of different ways to get involved. First and foremost is our office. This week we have drop-in hours at lunch. Ty and I are splitting the days, and we're going to be available in the Puritan House, our office. If you have questions or just want to kind of pop in and say hi as you get settled. But then also know that just before every month change, we will send out an email with, it's called Morgantown Monthly, of events that are coming up, events around campus, around town, just anything we think you might want to know about in order to explore. Something really cool that the university does is that every weekend on Friday and Saturday nights between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., there are events called WV Up All Night in the Mountain Layer. They serve free food. I think from 10 p.m. to midnight, it's like dinner food, munchy food, and then at midnight, it switches over to breakfast food. And there's games and just they plan different activities that are different each time for students to get involved. Also know Mountain Layer on the basement level. There's a bowling alley, there's billiard, pool tables, there's all sorts of things that you can do, meet with friends, ways to, be social on campus. And then since you are considered a normal student, all of the student organizations on campus are available for you to join as well. So whatever you're passionate about back home, chances are that there's a student organization here on campus that you could also reach out and be involved in. They really enjoy when international students get tagged in for the semester they're here. Another way to get involved is our athletic events. Online is how to go through the ticketing for each sport that is happening this spring. Something to know for specifically for men's basketball games is that there are free tickets available, but there is a process to request them. So this QR code leads you to the site. It is also available on the WVU Athletics student tickets site. And it's just a process of requesting the tickets. Like you put your name in for the lottery, they figure out how many students want to go, how many tickets they have available. They let the students know who've won the lottery that they have tickets available, and then they send it to your phone. Um, so that's the process, like I said, specifically for men's basketball games. And then, as this picture shows, those games are in the Coliseum. It's a large crowd. So, for safety reasons, for that, they implemented a clear bag policy. So, the dimensions are on the slide, but basically, do not take a backpack. You're not going to be allowed to take a backpack or any large bag in with you. Anything that's larger than like an envelope size has to be clear. There are clear totes available at the bookstores and any store around campus that has like West Virginia merchandise will have clear bags available for sale, or you can just use like a clear plastic kitchen baggie. But best case is just kind of stick your wallet and your phone in your pocket. as as you settle on campus, as you kind of get to know things and figure out how things work, or not figure out how things work, any questions, please reach out to us. We are here to help and ease the transition. Incoming exchange at mail.wvu.edu or our office in the Puritan House. We are here to help. So please use us. Do not suffer in silence. And welcome.
Yes, welcome everyone. Enjoy your first week.